When Stacey was deciding who might give her introductory speech tonight, numerous options were considered. A trusted colleague, a living legend, a deserving up-and-comer who could utilize the clout, an underrepresented demographic in the field whose 2-minute speech could show inclusivity to a newcomer in the back of the room. This, I think, more than decades of other anecdotes, is a perfect example of why Stacey is being honored tonight. She believes research is only the beginning. Every issue must be considered, every kindness should be afforded, every possibility must be weighed. Putting information to good use has led Stacey to a lifetime of achievements that were always secondary to the notion of helping others. Tonight, the two of us up here is a deviation from the norm. But when winning an award as special as this, you might as well make it as memorable as possible and be introduced by your kids.
Growing up, it wasn't ever about what Mom was doing. It was pretty much always about us. When we did delve into Mom's world, whether at a conference or a JJ&W annual Blueberry Breakfast, we'd meet people who would instead talk about our father, Patrick Jackson. They would regale us with stories of what he'd contributed and how he'd inspired them. We were young when he passed, so it was incredible to hear these memories. Nobody could live up to Dad, so we rarely focused on the work Mom was doing. When friends asked us what Mom did, we'd explain that she was like a shrink for organizations, and that was pretty much enough to satisfy them. Little did we know she was making her own mark, leaving her own touch on a profession that we now understand and appreciate as adults in the professional world. We know firsthand how challenging communication can be for an organization. Lucky for us, Mom was always there to offer counsel. Mom brought a lot of her professional techniques and knowledge to our table every day. No, we never filled out a survey about how home life was going, but she sure listened and responded, sometimes annoyingly well. But that's exactly why we are here tonight, and we are exceptionally proud that she has made a difference for so many others. With that, we are honored to introduce our mom, Stacey Smith.
The last thing I remember, I was graduating with a degree in public relations and not a clue what I was going to do with it. See, I really didn't like the idea of dealing with the media. It wasn't the thing that I enjoyed. What I really liked was trying to understand human behavior. What do we do? How do we do it? See, I had been a theater major. I started out there. And that was what I really learned about at that point. You know, you study why people are doing what they're doing, why they move, why the character is responding the way they're responding. And I thought about it and I'm like, well, I really don't want to be a starving artist. That's not for me. So I looked around my university and said, well, where's there a profession that I can think about human behavior? I can apply what I've learned about people here. And I looked over at the communications department and I looked at public relations. I said, there's a spot. There's something one can do there with human behavior. So I studied that, and then I was really lucky to stumble across my first mentor and role model. And he really threw open that window and said, and he showed me the difference. It showed me that the talents that we have as professionals can make a huge difference in this world. We have the ability to change people's behavior. He said that our role in this profession is to give people a voice in decisions that affect their lives. Think about that a minute. That's our role, to listen to them and give them that voice. But to do that, we have to listen. We have to listen well. And we must listen before we start planning to talk to them. We must listen while we're doing our plan and while we're building those relationships. We must listen when we're done building those relationships, because that helps us move forward. Where there is trust from listening, there is the possibility that everyone gets what they need. And what is good listening but research and measurement and evaluation? What is it? It is why I advocate so strongly for it whenever I teach, whenever I'm in front of groups, whenever I'm talking to an individual practitioner. Where is the planning? Where is the research that you're doing? Do you really want to truly move behavior? Do good research. Do you want to execute a plan that hits its mark? Do the research. Do you want respect, and who doesn't, from your leadership team? Prove it. Prove what you've done with the research. That's what they'll listen to. You'd think sometimes I was asking for the moon because people go, oh my God, research, we're PR people, we don't do numbers. I'm like, hey, you'll get there. And budgets are always a problem. But an even bigger barrier is knowing how to do that research. That's what is the bigger barrier than almost anything else. And that's where the work of the Institute has made such a huge difference. That, and if you didn't know him, that is what Jack Felton, in his wisdom, saw what was needed, what was not being done. The Institute, you, and people like you, and the very lovely Mark Wiener, who nominated me for this award, help bring this knowledge to a place where if people are motivated, they can have all the tools they need to do this work. All you need to do is go to the Institute and you can learn to do this research that you need to do. But they must be motivated by mentors and role models, as I was, and I am thankful for every single one of mine. I would name them all, I should, but I can't because Tina and the crew told me 3 minutes and that's it, so I'm not doing it. But instead, I will urge you, if you're not already, to be that mentor, to be that role model for others. Help them raise their sights. That research and listening is the way to change behavior, and behavior is the way to make this world a better place to be. The joy that comes from seeing others succeed is truly the best reward going. But this one's pretty cool too. So I thank you all.